Namaskaram. My name is Srinath Hariharan, and I am a disciple of Sangeet Samrat, Shri Chitrveena and Ravikiran, and Vidushi Bhargavi Balasubramanian. Recently, Ravikiran sir introduced a new type of Korvai, specifically a 3-speed Two-Gati Korvai, in which the first round of the Korvai has the Purvangam in slow speed Chaturashram and the Uttarangam in slow speed Tishram. The second round of the Korvai has the Purvangam in medium speed Chaturashram and the Uttarangam in medium speed Tishram. And the third and final round of the Korvai has the Purvangam in fast speed Chaturashram and the Uttarangam in fast speed Tishram. The example that Ravikiran sir gave in his lecture demonstration explaining this idea is the following Korvai from Samam to +4 out of 8 units in Two-Gati Aditala. Tam, ta, tam, ta, ke, tam, ta, ki, te tam te di gi ne tum te di gi ne tum te di gi ne tum tam te ke tam te ki te tam te di gi ne tum te di gi ne tum te di gi ne tum tam te ke tam te ki te tam te di gi ne te di gi ne te di gi ne te tam. Upon hearing this, I was able to create a formula for such Korvais based on the number of beats that the total Korvai takes. We can also incorporate a progression into the Korvai. For example, where in the first round the Uttarangam is 3 5s, in the second round the Uttarangam is 3 7s, and in the third and final round the Uttarangam is 3 9s. So after receiving a lot of feedback from my gurus on how to refine this process, this is the final result. So if T is equal to the total number of beats for the Korvai, P is equal to the length of the Purvangam, U is equal to the length of the first pattern in the Uttarangam, and D is the difference between U and next patterns, P is equal to 4S minus 2U, and D is equal to T minus M divided by 2, where M represents the closest multiple of 7 near T, such that T minus M is divisible by 2, and S is equal to M divided by 7. So just a couple notes about some of the variables defined in this part. For example, a U value of 5 would mean that the first round of the Korvai would have an Uttarangam of 3 Khandams or 3 5s. And a D value of 2 would mean that, for example, if the first round had an Uttarangam of 3 5s, that the second round would have an Uttarangam of 3 7s, and the third round would have an Uttarangam of 3 9s. It is also important to note that D could definitely be a negative value. So this may seem a bit complex on first look. However, there is a 5-step process to greatly simplify the finding of such Korvais. So first, select a total number of beats, T, needed for the Korvai. So for example, a Korvai for 3 avartanams of Two-Gati Aditalam would be 48 beats. Second is to select a multiple of 7, or M, that is close to T, such that T minus M is divisible by 2. So in this example, where T is equal to 48, M would be equal to 42. The third step is to calculate the D value by finding T minus M divided by 2. Here, that would be 48 minus 42 divided by 2, which is equal to 3. The fourth step would be to calculate the value of S, which is simply M divided by 7. Here, M is equal to 42, so S is going to be equal to 6. And the fifth and final step is to calculate the Purvangam after choosing an initial Uttarangam value, such that P is equal to 4S minus 2U. So in this example, since S is equal to 6, a possible U value could be 5, which would make P equal to 24 minus 10, which is equal to 14. So that Korvai would come as follows. Tam, te, tam, te, ke, tam, te, ki, te, tam, te, di, ki, ne, tum, te, di, ki, ne, tum, te, di, ki, ne, tum, tam, te, ke, tam, te, ki, te, tam, tatom, tadikinatom, tatom, tadikinatom, tatom, tadikinatom, tam, tatam, tagatam, takitatam, tatom, tadim, tadikinato, tatom, tadim, tadikinato, tatom, tadim, tadikinato, tam. So we can also try this process for a different talam. So say that there is a Pallavi in Two-Gati Triputa talam which starts after 4 in high speed Chaturashram or after 1 beat. Then a possible number of beats or T could be 3 avartanams plus 1 beat, which would be 55 beats in Two-Gati Triputa talam. And the second step is to select a multiple of 7, M, that is close to T such that T minus M is divisible by 2. So here, M would be equal to 49. The third step is to calculate D. So here, that would be 55 minus 49 divided by 2, which is equal to 3. The fourth step would be to calculate the value of S by calculating M divided by 7. Since M is equal to 49, S would be equal to 7. And the fifth and final step is to calculate the Purvangam or P value after choosing the Uttarangam value. So since S is equal to 7 here, P is equal to 28 minus 2U. So and since D is equal to 3, a logical U value would be 5. So therefore P would be equal to 28 minus 10, which is 18. So that Korvai would come as follows. Tam, tam, ki, tam, di, ne, tam, di, ki, ne, tom, di, ki, ne, tom, di, ki, ne, tom, tam, ke, tam, ki, tam, ke, di, ne, tam, tatom, tadikinatom, tatom, tadikinatom, tatom, tadikinatom, tatam, takatam, takitatam, takadinatam, tatom, tadim, tadikinato, tatom, tadim, tadikinato, tatom, tadim, tadikinatatam.
There are a few rules that are important to note when using this process. So if D is equal to 1, then you can make D equal to -1 and vice versa if you are using a 4-beat cycle, such as Chaturashra Ekatalam. Likewise, if D is equal to 2, then you can make D equal to -2 and vice versa if you are using any 8-beat cycle or 4-beat cycle, such as Tishra Madhyatalam or Khanda Jampadalam. And if D is equal to 3, then you can make D equal to -3 and vice versa if you are using any 12-beat cycle, 6-beat cycle, 4-beat cycle, or 3-beat cycle, such as Khanda Madhyatalam or Chaturashra Atatalam.
So as you can see, this process can be used to quickly calculate such Korvais and perhaps even 10 seconds even on the stage. So thank you for listening, and I hope that this has been helpful in explaining how to use this process to find 3-speed Two-Gati Korvais. Namaskara.